I'm gonna design a fairy OC with dice. Hi, my name is Solar, and I had a dream in which a fairy was adopted by a bunch of other fairies, like a ragtag group of just 5 or 6 fairies, all bunched together in a caravan and traveling across the world in this little map that I have created, and I have been compelled to draw it. This is a world that I've been wanting to share with people for a while, and it's of course under development, but I figured what better way to introduce a world and myself and the fact that I'm an artist than to design a character for it. One that I dreamt of last night and has been in my brain ever since. This is my first long form video ever, so hello to everyone who is watching, and I guess let's dive in. If I were to share some details about this world, just to help it make a little more sense, imagine a semi-modern fantasy where people could ride around in caravans and in high-speed cars and planes. And we have a whole slew of races that all exist in the world, from humans to vampires to fairies to werewolves to mermaids and other things. This world in which I have created is called Unerva, and this fairy that I dreamt about, I already have a name for her. Her name is Elania, and she is a fairy blessed by the forest to a Dutch and Duchess of a town. I know that she is a whimsy. I know that she's absolutely a tree hugger. She's a bit aloof. She's very positive, and overall just a very, I guess, sunshine character. Her magic, much like the magic of everyone else in this world, is called mana, and it comes from the literal earth itself. She loves to talk to trees, and that's about all I know about her. Now, I'm going to be using dice to determine some characteristics about her, such as what she looks like and her colors, but I do have some things I guess I want to keep in mind based on what I saw of her in my dream. I know that she's like kind of in the middle in terms of skin tone, like darker skinned, yes, but not too dark, not too light. Like right here, I'd say, or maybe a little bit saturated, like this, yes. And in my dream, she had green eyes. That's it. This is all we got to go on. And so I suppose the first thing that I'm going to want to do is determine a body type. I think I'm going to use a D10 for this. A 3. Out of a D10, I guess she's a little more on the skinnier side, so let me get sketching here. Okay, I've just cleaned up my sketch here a little. I know something else that I want to roll for dice too is like hair texture. I know I have her as more of a darker skinned character, but does she have curly hair or is it like straight? I know that the hair spectrum tends to shift from like a 1A to like a 4. So I think a pyramid dice calls for this. That looks like a 4. That means she has some very, very, very curly hair. Very kinky. I am black, so kinky just means that the curl is like closer to the base and it's really, really, really tight. Like my hair sits between like a 3C to like a 4A, and like imagine a 1 is like straight. Like this would be a 1A curl. A 2A curl will have a slight little wave, and so a 4A curl, for example, would be really tight and probably really short. So we're looking at a character with really tight and short curls, which is really fun. I want to know if she has braids or cornrows or if her curls are just out and about and like a fro. Generally, I'm looking for something, looking for like a style. So are her curls out or are they more, I guess, tucked away behind her ears? And I think I'm gonna go with my pyramid dice again, and I'm gonna say a 1 is, I guess, very like loose, as in not very styled. Well, not styled, but she probably doesn't have any braids or anything in there. Maybe some bangs, but maybe her curls are just all out and loose. And like a 4 would mean that like her hair is like in braids, and maybe some of her curls are, out. So let's see what we get. A 1, meaning her curls are out, loud, and proud. Ooh, you know what? I should roll if she has a widow's peak. I have a widow's peak, and I think it's a very fun character trait, but we'll see if she has a widow's peak. Oh, no is 1, and yes will be like a 20, and I should actually roll like a d20. Natural 20. She does indeed have a widow's peak. I should roll for length. How long would her curls be? I would say a 1 is like really, really, really short, like scalp length, and like a 20 is like all the way down to like her butt. Okay, we got a 10, so that's straight in the middle. That is straight average. This is not gonna stay. This is just hypothetical. Her curls would come down to about here. She has some long curls and like no braids, no nothing. You're like, you just know these curls are gonna get all in her face. I wonder if she has like stuff on her. I mean, I know that she's a nature girly, like she will roll around in grass. I probably won't draw the full length of her curls here, but I will for the video. I like to design, I guess, the face first before I design anything else. I wonder if the girls in her group likes to like help her with her hair, maybe put some pins and stuff in it. You know what? I should roll if she has pins and stuff in her hair. Does she have like pins or leaves in her hair? 9. So no, I guess not. She takes very good care of her hair. I remember her eyes like so clearly in my dream. They're really soft, really round, and really wide. And she always had like this wide eyed, starry eyed, kind of not all there type of expression that I thought was adorable. That's our girl. I want to roll for some additional features. Like, does she have any scars? Does she have any. Well, let's do like scars. Does she have any scars? Was she like. I don't want to. Man, like if she has scars given her backstory, that would like imply that she was like abused or something. Let's see. Alright, so we know our girl got some scars. I mean, what from? Would these be like would this be like lashing scars? Or like I tripped on a rock and smacked my head and now I have a scar on my skull type scar. Like I will say like a 20 was accident and like a 1 is like afflicted upon. Let's see what we get. We got a 19. 18, sorry. I am not reading that clearly. Now, one last question, or I guess 2 more questions. Does our girl have piercings? Was she pierced? No, that is a natural 1. She is not pierced in the slightest. This is our girl. Now, the very last thing that I wanted to roll was freckles. Does our girl have freckles? That is a 16. That will be a yes. I'm gonna color in this line art and we'll see about some colors. Because besides a darker skin and green eyes, I have no clue what her hair color is. And we are back. I left the skin for red line art for now because I don't know. Something about coloring the skin for red line art makes any skin tone look so nice and bright and pretty, and I love it. Let's see if her hair is darker or light. I'm gonna say that 1 is like the lightest color ever, like white, and like a 20 is like pitch black, like the 5. Okay, so she has a pretty light hair color. Alright. Is it a natural hair color is my next question. I'm gonna say that 1 is like natural and 20 is like the most unnatural hair color known to me. 5. So it's a natural hair color, or at least something that like a human. With that, I think I'm going to move things along here. I liked a pinkish creamy color for her hair, so that is what I went with, and I made a mock of her wings before I very quickly sketched a full body image of her for her outfit. I already knew what her aesthetic was. Imagine very green, a load of puffy dresses, cottage core, all the florals. And that is what she wears. In my mind, the wings are a bit opaque and transparent and have a range of colors. I've loosely based these off of a fly and butterfly wings, but I just went for something similar in my dream. Though in it, her wings were more holographic with loads of colors and a green base. I did not want to draw that, Maybe when I come back to her, I will, but I decided to go with a green to tie in her overall colors. I skipped a lot here, but that was just me figuring out some additional details that I wanted. With her having scars, I chose to add some to her legs since I knew they were like cuts from tripping. I see Alanya frolicking in the woods every chance she gets and being very clumsy as she was not raised to be in the wild. My personal headcanon is that she just doesn't heal scars well. I wanted to try and explain my thoughts of her a bit more clearly, as at the start of this it was basically just a load of ADHD rambling, and I do have some details nailed down for her. As previously mentioned, she is a fairy blessed by the earth to be both born a fairy as well as a seer. In this world, I see fairies as magical casters of sorts. They're all in tune with nature, and their abilities can be based on that, or perhaps circumstances that their lives are going to be in. With this dream, I haven't ironed out how they get their magic, but I know it's nature based. Like, they can talk to plants, trees, and animals, and such. Ilania was born to a duchess and Dutch. I do not have names for them, but after looking at my world map, I've decided that they are from Blessmond. It is in a region of this continent called Isoria, or Esoria, I should say. I imagine this region to be a mix of spruce and oak trees. Like, think Minecraft biomes when you switch from like an oak biome to spruce with the dark colored grass and the tall foresty trees. I guess the biome I'm specifically referring to is something close to a Minecraft taiga with the stone and the dark grass and the podzol and tall trees. Think that when you think of Blessmond and Isoria as a whole. Now, in my dream, they were only visiting Blessmond when she got kidnapped. But I think for things to be more simple, I'm going to say that she was just born there. The reason she's blessed is due to her parents' actions involving the environment. I see them as being tree huggers themselves, and with things such as deforestation existing, I imagine they ran a successful campaign against damaging the forest around Blessmond, and so whatever entity, I think maybe a god, decided they should have one, and this is why Alanya was born, despite being the only fairy in a very human family. I have alluded to this when I was rolling for her scars, but despite literally being a blessing to this very rich family, she was not treated very well. Her parents, for a lack of education or really care, or maybe it was racism, I am unsure, but they cared more for their reputation, and they thought having a non human daughter made them look bad. So they did everything possible to keep her from looking like she was a fairy. And this version of her, or at least what you see right now that I have designed, is kind of what she looks like post all of that. After she got kidnapped, after she got the chance to, learn how to fly, embrace her identity, embrace who she is, this is kind of how she turned out. Very happy, very bubbly, very much so in recovery from all that she went through. I will be designing the girls who kidnapped her next. As for dynamics, I have not decided if she was kidnapped as a kid or older. In my dream, she was kidnapped with quotation marks around it at the age of 21 when she fell ill from a lack of mana, and her family brought in doctors of whom they did not know were inhuman, who took one look at her and decided that they're not only going to fix the problem, but also resolve it. And by resolve it, I mean removing her from her family's care. Now, obviously, with logic, they probably would have intentionally chosen inhuman doctors, but either way, she was left unattended with them, and they were the ones who were to look at her very frail and weak state and decide that she needed help. I imagine fairies to be a very collective group of people. They absolutely look after each other, they take care of each other, they uplift each other, they'll give each other resources, make sure everyone has their basic needs and necessities, and whenever they see someone amongst their ranks that do not have that, they usually will step in to solve the problem, and that's exactly what happened with these groups of doctors. I will leave it there. I'll leave it there for now as I continue to iron out more details about these girls, but that's the basic history for Elania. Gosh. After designing her, lining, and coloring her was very, very easy. I was writing off of pure, I guess, excitement. Like, I've never sat down and took an idea that I had in my brain and actually, like, designed it, drew it, filled in details, took a story. I quite like it. I've been developing this world for a while, and I'm very happy I got the chance to just ramble on about a silly, silly dream. I fixed her hair texture after looking at some like references for a curls or for a C curls, whatever you want to see. Level 4 curls tend to, I guess, stick out a lot, very straight, but overall have like a fro type of shape. So that's kind of what I did for her long mid back hair. Though I think I might have drawn it a little bit longer here, but that's okay. I found the dress on Pinterest that I based her outfit on. I did change it a bit, obviously. I gave her a corset instead of that seam that flows all the way down to the cut, and I added some like hems or I guess extra fabric at the end of her sleeves and bottom of dress just to give her a little bit more flow and flash as I imagine her being in all of the puffy dresses. Like, she's absolutely the girl to pick up the ends of her dress and spin around in circles because she loves it. As for more details about her, she loves the taiga trees that where the ones that she grew up around, I imagine even as a little girl. Despite not really having access to her wings or anything like that yet, I imagine that she would talk to them regularly. I imagine she didn't know that she had special abilities to like see in the future or talk to trees or animals or anything like that until she met these girls and she was informed that one, talking to trees is normal, but seeing the future is not. But I know that she grew up, like maybe her only friends were the trees, and that's who she liked. I know that her favorite color is obviously green, and I know that no matter what region she goes to, it was an environment that had a tree, her first and immediate impulse would be to run over to it and talk to it. That's like her peak main interest. And I know that at some point she goes to a school to like enhance and train her abilities specifically. And I know that when she gets there, she falls in love with a boy. But that's like so far ahead in the future, and we're just nailing down the backstory now. If that is what I stick with, I will be designing him and exploring this school that she goes to, but that was where my dream left, and I guess that is where I'll leave this video for now. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me and to sit here and just let a madman go on about his rambles of insanity. I'm not insane, I swear. It was a very vivid dream. Thank you for taking the time to listen and for sticking around. I will be making more videos like this, going into the girls next, the boys next, maybe her siblings. I know that two of her siblings are twins and they are male. That's another detail. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as I have. And I will see you guys around. Bye bye.